As my hair is going everywhere. Good evening, whoever chimed in. It's the Saturday night ritual. Well, that was short lived. One came in, another one goes out. Well, look at that. We can do a small window. Well, there's one person popped in. Hey, what's going on? How are we tonight? Last week was a flop. I struggled with that stupid live feed last week. I couldn't get the dang thing to work. I was like, it was in between cutting in and cutting out. I was on the tablet. I was trying to do it outside to see if it would work, but the Wi-Fi signal apparently outside the house is not strong enough to make that work. I've got another access point I'm thinking about setting up and seeing if that doesn't help. Because I'd like to be able to do some live streams out in the shop. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you don't want to get me started on that either. I'm livid right now with everything going on. But, I mean, we're getting pinched. It's probably best off that we not speak about it on social media, if you know what I mean. Let's talk about trucks. Everybody likes trucks. Yeah, that's my Roadliner. It's a Yammer. I bought it really good price. It was a leftover 2012. I bought in 2014. So it's 10 years old now, and I've got like 40,000 miles on it. It had 660 on it when I bought it. Had some sort of fluke thing happen. About 14,000. We were down in Bike Blues and Barbecue down in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Loved to ride. And the thing developed a knock in it. And needless to say, I took it in, and what they ended up doing was replacing the case halves, which I thought was kind of strange. But apparently, the crank was walking inside the case. It was something to do with it was mismachined from the factory or something like that. But um, the tech that actually did it, I talked to him personally. That was pretty cool. The place that I took it up there, Reno's Yamaha in Kansas City, Missouri. Good place to do business. Um, the Anyway, I got to see the thing completely disassembled, and for 14,000 miles, I'd been running synthetic in it, and the thing was clean enough on the inside you could eat off of it. I mean, it was super clean. There wasn't hardly any wear on the pistons or anything like that. It was great. But anyway, he put that thing back together, and I haven't had a lick of trouble with it since. And like I said, it's getting ready to roll over 40,000. Um, I've been riding the heck out of it the last 2 weeks. It's finally gotten some decent weather. What's up, Doc? Okay, what are you going to do about your trip? Are you going to get the cab? Did you check it out? I have not checked it out yet. Man, I've been so stupid busy. Um, would you believe this? I This is the first pay period that I've been at the dealership since I started there that I might actually have a decent check. Uh, just everything kind of fell in place. I had a bunch of just replacement customer pay transmissions. Um, I had some actuators I had to do on a Traverse that paid real well. Um, that's the whole thing. I'm pretty decent customer pay technician, but man, it's hard to beat warranty time. It's just almost impossible. But when you get some of those good jobs, it's kind of nice. Mhm. Yeah, you know what? Did I seen that deal? Um, I don't know if what's worse. I don't know if the governor of New York that they got in there now, that gal, I think she's worse than Cuomo. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you listen to Tucker Carlson, he was saying it was either no, it was Hannity. He was talking about it, and he says, I predicted the whole thing. Yeah, I talked about leaving, and there's a possibility I might still, but in with what's going on right now, I honestly, as much as my body's telling me it's time to get out of it, I don't know that I can. Um, it, it's one of those things where you kind of got to make a decision. How far do you part? Like I was telling the wife, it says, I've been doing, most of my stuff is on my shoulders, you know, up over my head and stuff like that. And when I got off of work this afternoon, I had to work today, and my shoulders are barking at me pretty bad. But and a couple of other guys I work with says, it says, you'd hate to leave it. I mean, you'd hate to get rid of it. It's just, and I really got a bunch of good people to work with. Um, when you work with a bunch of guys for a long time, you kind of become family, and it's tough to split the family up. Now, some of them could go and it wouldn't hurt. You know what I'm. Every shop has one or two of those guys. Well, Mike, that's not just there. I mean, we're having a hell of a time getting parts just to fix these cars, and they're factory parts. Um, they this whole thing. Oh my God, guys, the thing with the all the container ships that are out in the middle of the ocean can't get in port because they're not being let in port, and then there's nobody to run the ports, and they're trying to block all that stuff in California. I'm just sitting there thinking, once you get some word out there and come down here to Florida, and I guarantee they'll get it unloaded down here. Liquid tuna turmeric, huh? Oh yeah, I know that's what it is, and yeah, I'm glad to see that there's a lot of people fighting back, like all the stuff that's been happening in New York. The people are filing lawsuits, and good for them. That's what needs to happen. I mean, eh, you can only push somebody so far before they're going to turn around and say, "Hey, look, enough's enough." And I think that's what everybody's starting to do, which is something that needs to happen. Anyway, so I've pondered the thought about it about trucks. My back's not really bad at all. I mean, I've been fortunate to have a pretty decent back. Now, every once in a while, I get to tweaking on something or lay wrong. Like when I did those actuators on that Traverse, having to lay under the dash. It's kind of hard to get an elephant underneath of a dash, but and these big old shoulders I got, but I got her done nonetheless. And I was paying that for that the day after, but after that I was good. So it it's just a matter of how everything works. And I drink lots of water, which helps you recover quite a bit. And I do take a vitamin D supplement and vitamin C. That's probably why I've. Speaking of which, I think I'd caught a little bit of bug or something like that um, towards the beginning of the week. I thought it was allergies, but I noticed I take my blood pressure every morning, every evening, and my blood sugar and everything, track it, and my blood pressure was running a little bit elevated, and I was like, huh. And it's back down. I was like, I think I must have had a little something, but it was quick to pass. So, guys, you're gonna have to bear with me just a second. I'm gonna have to go get my eyeballs. I can't read the. I don't think making the screen any bigger is gonna do me any good either. But I think I'm gonna have to go get my eyeballs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get my eyeballs. Hang with me here just a second. All right, let's try that. Hey, what's happening, Steven? Oh, I can read the screen now. Yeah, we've been having a heck of a time getting parts. I mean, just stupid little stuff. And then, shipping on top of that, running at a lot of blocks on that too. So it's uh it's all around a bad deal. There was something I seen that somebody had to wait some astronomical amount of time uh, because they couldn't get them. I mean, a lot of these performance guys are running into the same issue. Not being able to get certain parts for their cars for the race cars. Um, it's crazy. I mean, what are we going to do when we run out of parts? And you know, when I went to the grocery store, and that's a big hit in the pocketbook. I mean, inflation's out of control. Oh yeah, you got to see the one down here, Doc. I mean, it's. I was telling the wife when I went. I says, there's a lot of low stock on these shelves. I mean, low or no stock. Um, produce, a lot of produce is getting tough to get. Um, Buster, even down here, it's crazy. Um, Baby spinach. Um, I've been eating a lot of greens lately because, of course, my doctor says I need to eat more greens. So I've been eating more greens. Oh yeah. Um, I bought a small thing of tinfoil, and it was $9. Well, we live in the country too, but I mean, you can't exactly go out and just get it where we're at. Um, yeah, I've joked with the wife says, we ought to just pack up and go live up in the mountains somewhere, and we'll just live off the land. I don't know how that would work because I'm not much of a hunter. I'm a terrible fisherman. I don't have the patience for that, but I damn sure learn. But we're going so far in the wrong direction. Yeah. Yeah, the only problem is the soil that we got down here is mostly sand, and a lot of stuff doesn't like to grow unless you make a planter or something like that and put some like potting soil or just bring in some good black dirt. Um, where we used to live in the Midwest, I mean, you could get it all day long. You can grow your own food, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, yeah, back to my truck deal. I thought about doing the cab on it. I was like, but if I do the cab, I really want to do it right. I want to take and strip the frame completely down, have it powder coated, repowder coated, to get some more life out of that truck. I mean, but in the same instance, do I really want to spend that much time and effort in it? Other than just find another truck, with no rust on it. I don't know. I'm seeing the increase because we don't have any credit cards, so we pay for everything, up front. I mean, Lord knows I wouldn't want to do credit cards right now. I don't know that I need to box the frame. The frame's plenty strong enough. Um, it's a good 3/4 ton frame. I want to get all that. For the life of me, I don't understand why GM put that slimy black crap on there. Even working on that stuff. I mean, you get it on head to toe. You know, elbows. I got them clean now, but I got home and I had grease all on this elbow where you couldn't see it. Just reaching up in there. Yeah, believe me, that truck of mine is heavy enough. I've managed to sink that thing up to the frame. I got in some soft clay mud up north at mother-in-law's place, and it before I got the thing in 4-wheel drive, it just buried it. The front end of that truck is so heavy. But I thought about. Um, I've always No, that's what we're kind of getting at, Stephen. Um, I've always thought about a crew cab dually pickup. Um, but then I thought, well, why not go one step further and see if I can find a Kodiak, um, Kodiak or Top Kick, somewhere around 2005, 6, 7. And I think you're right, Doc. I think it does. Um, but find like a medium duty. Find a medium duty, because we do tow a fifth wheel. And, down the road, I've thought about, if I go to a bigger fifth wheel, it's going to have more hitch weight on it. Not that my truck couldn't handle it, but um, a heavier truck's just going to handle that kind of a load that much better. And so I got an old marketplace and was browsing around looking at some of these and found some pretty nice ones. They weren't even on that thing 3 days and they were gone. I mean, I'm like, holy cow. I mean, the truck market right now, guys, is stupid smoking hot. And we still can't get any new cars up there at the dealership. I mean, most of what we're selling is used stuff or stuff that's been ordered for a while. I mean, and you look at all these lots we're like on a main thoroughfare. It's kind of like a miracle mile, and or dealership row or something, whatever you want to call. And yes, Doc, it had a Duramax in it with an Allison 1000. It's a 4500, and I think I seen a couple of 5500s, but they got hauler beds on them too, which are made for like goosenecks or fifth wheels. But looking at all these car lots and you don't hardly see any new cars on these lots. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, people are wanting to buy new cars, but they can't. So, I mean, the used market is insane right now. They're selling as fast as you can get them. There was a truck out there in South Carolina that's pretty nice. It's a Dirty Max, but it's a 1-ton dually. Somebody's put a flatbed on it, but There is a couple of Kodiaks out there, but like I said, those are selling so stinking fast. Uh, you blink and it's gone. Then I thought about going to the dark side and getting an F450, and I was like, no. But here's even a nice. But it's a 2015. I really kind of rather have one that's pre-emission, if you know what I mean. 2007 and a half and down, because I don't want to deal with the DEF or the particulate filter or anything like that, because they're a royal pain in a keister, and they get expensive if you have to replace one. But I mean, even then, there's a 2015 3500 LTZ for 54, which is a lot of money, but it's got a hauler bed already on it. Looks like a CM bed. It's a pretty nice bed. It is a CM bed. But the only problem with getting a Kodiak is you can't hardly find one that's four-wheel drive, and the four-wheel drive one sits so high on the front end. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to sell a truck right now, now's the time to do it. I don't think I could get a whole lot out of mine just because of the fact that cab's as rusty as it is, but it's a solid mechanical truck for sure. That's the only thing I'd hate to get rid of is the thing. No, I like the Dodge Cummins. That would be my first choice over if I had to choose between a Ford and a Dodge, it would be a Dodge. Instant. No brainer. But I think it'd have to be on the Dodge. I'd want it to be an 07 or newer. Probably one of the newer ones anyway. They had so many dash problems on their Dodge pickups, and then they were plagued with that 48 RE transmission that unless you got a 6-speed, but I'm going to tell you guys, I've driven a bunch of manual transmissions in traffic or in town, and it just wears you out. It takes all the enjoyment out of it. If you're hauling all the time, that'd be another story. But that was the other thing I thought about it. If you get a medium duty, you could sign up and you could actually haul people's fifth wheels for them. The people that don't have trucks, so you could actually make some money with it at the same time. It's an idea, if they need it moved somewhere, hitch up to it. You don't have to worry about the weight of it because I mean that thing's gonna pull whatever you want. And if you get a good CM bed or something like that, those CM beds, they're rated at like 30,000 pounds on the hitch ball. And you can do 18,000 or 18.5 on the bumper pull on that bed with no problem. Yeah. Yeah. I know some people, Mike, that had the same problem, that they were limited on what worked on the dash. My wife's nephew has got he's got an 06 mega cab, I think it is. Was it a mega cab or was his just a dually crew cab? I think his was just dually crew cab. But anyway, he's been fighting HVAC control head issues. And I guess it was something common that the 06s had. But his is actually a 6-speed truck, and he absolutely loves it. That's his second Dodge. The last one he had was an automatic, so this one was a manual, and he looked for a long time to find one. And I think it'd been studded and all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just a thought. I mean, it's one of them dreaming deals because I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford anything like that. But again, I'm wondering if it's worth it to me to put money in my old pickup or sell it and move on to something else. Well, if it's something you drive on a daily basis, Mike, it's another story. Um, if it's something you just use for hot rod, then there's no question in my mind. Um, I'd probably want a manual in mine too. Um, I've got a T5, but that I haven't pondered. I'm still pondering whether or not I want to convert mine to manual or not, or just leave it because everybody does it. But when you drive it on a normal basis, if you wanted to make a daily out of it, it gets old, especially when you have to drive one in traffic. You know, if it's something that you're going to drive on the track or something like that, the manual is definitely a better way to go. 1990. That's one of the first ones they come out with. Uh, those things made so much noise that they'd wake the cousins of the dead from the grave. They made so much noise. True story. There's a campground down in South Missouri. It's called Mill Creek Campground. Look it up. It's a little bit south of Kimberlin City, and it's a beautiful campground. Anyway, what it is about it is we were camping there one time. Yeah, you're right. You're right. No computers. Yeah, wake the dead. Yeah, they don't know any different anyway. They're already dead. But anyway, we woke up one morning and it was just a beautiful morning and sun was just coming up. And off in the background, somebody fires up an old 12 valve Cummins Dodge. Holy cow, this thing was rattling and it was a little cool that morning, so it was even louder than usual, because them old diesels, boy, and you get them things fired up when they're cold, they make all sorts of ruckus till they get warmed up a little bit. And oh my God, this thing made so much noise. And we're like, well, there goes the morning. It was, yeah, it was rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom is what that was. But now the new ones are so much quieter, so much quieter. And I think this old boy had some pipes on this thing too, if I remember right. It was not very muffled. But anyway, yeah, if you guys are if you guys ever get up here to South Missouri and you do some camping down there around the Ozarks and down in Branson area and stuff like that, you need to look up that campground. It's a beautiful, beautiful campground. The only problem is that poor place has been underwater so many times from the lake raising up. Um, I don't know if it's still in existence. I haven't been there in so long, but the last time the lake was up, it flooded it again because it sits down in a valley. I mean, this road to get to it, I think it drops elevation probably from the access road to the bottom of it. is probably 150 feet, maybe. You want to land in the Ozarks, you fly, apparently. That's funny. There's a video out there, speaking of which, of these guys with a Honda in the shop, and they ran this thing up on the two-step, and it started popping and everything else. And anyway, somebody actually called the cops on them, said that there was machine guns going off, and the cops come in there and says, "No, we got guns." Blah blah blah. No, let me show you. Let me show you. So they did it in front of these cops, and these cops are laughing. So that was the funniest thing they ever seen. But yeah, it wasn't too funny at the time, apparently, as it had everybody paranoid. But anywho, oh, goodness gracious. But anyway, I've got a picture of a camper that's really caught my eye. It's a Holiday Rambler, which I didn't know that they made fifth wheels. I knew they made Class A's, but this thing's bad to the bone, full body paint and everything else. That's the other thing. It's one of my loves is camping and campers. I just love camping. Love to get close to a lake. Smell the air in the morning. Oh, it's great. It's great. My dream is to be able to tour the U.S., be one of these full-time campers. I think that would just be killer. I think I'd have so much fun. Excuse me. Only problem is I wouldn't know what to do because I don't know what I'd do with the cars and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I could sell everything. I mean, I'd have to have some place to store it, I guess, but yeah, I could probably sell old Scarlet out there if I wanted to. Probably get 1,500 out of a car that doesn't have an engine or transmission in it. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, I mean, it'd have to be some kind of storage. Is that a cat you got a picture of there, Doc? Kind of looks like it. I can't blow the picture up that you got for your deal, but it kind of looks like a cat. That's your Abigail? Nice. All our fart knockers are over here or over in the sunroom. One of our cats, she pasted in 2015. Oh, that sucks. Anyway, one of our cats has got a ruptured anal gland, which I knew dogs get it every once in a while. I knew what you meant, Doc. So anyway, I knew dogs could get them every once in a while. I've never seen it on a cat, but I'll be damned if the cat didn't rupture one. And we got a cone for her and everything, but she's figured out some way to lick that thing, and it's just the intuition of the cat or dog, to clean himself. Well, if we left them in here, one of our dogs would be cleaning it for her. and we just didn't want that happening. So until she heals up, they're all in there. They can't bite me tonight, Stephen. They're all in that room right there. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, our kids are moving on to greener pastures one at a time. Excuse me. I had to put my cat down a couple weeks ago. Socks was 18 or 19. Um, man, he was a good cat. I don't know if he had a stroke or what happened to him. He was all sorts of messed up. I couldn't let him sit there and suffer, and I didn't want to find out if he was going to come out of it. So, oh, it sucks. You feel so guilty when you do that thing, you know? Yeah, exactly right. They do. They're all part of a family. It never gets old when I come home. Uh, my three dogs are sitting in the window watching me come home. They're waiting for me to come in, and they just give me the biggest welcome when I come in the door. Uh, I absolutely love it, and I know they do too. Give me lots of kisses and everything else. Hey, Stephen, I'm going to say this again. I mean, I don't understand. Uh, I've never seen so much emphasis on getting a vaccine in my life. I have never seen it. There's more behind it than that. And they've come out and says, well, they get the government subsidy or something like that. It's just wrong. And it's pretty bad when you have a bad dream about it. I had one last night that we had visitors come to my house, and they were getting ugly. Um, Wanting to come on the property and stuff like that. And I think that they, if I remember right, one of them was jumping the fence or something like. You can't remember a whole lot of it. I know it woke me up, and it's just, you're kidding. They've been to your house. That's crazy. I just want to be able to live my life is what the deal is. I mean, I don't need anybody to tell me, what I can do. Um, I don't agree with it. I mean, if y'all want to do it and it makes you feel better for doing it, go right ahead. But to me, something's not right about this whole thing. And somebody was spreading a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, that once you get it, you may have, maybe 2 years to live. And I'm like, what? Seriously, not. But they're not telling you that how many people are dying from the vaccine, and and the media. You're best off just turn the media off. Really, just turn it off, because it. Doc, I'm hoping you didn't tell them a thing, because that's none of their business. That's patient and you know patient and doctor confidentiality kind of thing. Yeah. No, but they already said that, Mike. They already said that it was. Yeah, pretty much, Doc. But Mike, they already said it was made from uh, fetuses or something like that. Dude, I'm telling you, that just gives me the creeps. Yeah, I know. Kind of trying to be careful about the words we use, and but anyway, yeah, I've been slacking on some videos for sure, guys. I'm guilty as all get out. Like I said, I've been so stinking busy. Um, like I said in the beginning of the video, uh, I've been uh, I've been so busy. In fact, the last 2 Saturdays I worked, um, and we've been having garage sales, trying to thin the house out. Um, I've got an ad on there for on Marketplace right now, trying to sell a couple of computers that I've got. They were from my shop, trying to get rid of some of my shop computer equipment, um, couple printers and 3 desktops, and trying to sell some tools. And but we've been doing that. In fact, my enclosed trailer, is full of garage sale stuff right now, and I've been I've been just moving that in between the back of the house and the front of the house. When we do the garage sale, I'll bring it around the front of the house and set it up, and then people can go in and see it. Well, I got 2 different printers. I don't know if I can link the marketplace ad to it, but I guess you can. But well, I don't know exactly how to do that right at the moment. But anyway, I've got to get some more pictures of that stuff too. But like I said, that's been taking a lot of my weekend time because we've been setting up and doing that. And so I haven't been out in the shop hardly at all. In fact, we had some gal. There's my wife gets in Facebook jail quite a bit because she calls people out on it, and she emphasizes the truth, and they don't like the truth, so she gets put in jail. I don't get on Facebook much. I do, but I don't usually comment. I pay attention to things, but I don't comment a whole lot because again, I don't want to get started on it either. But anyway, this last garage sale we had, everybody's got a garage fridge usually. And this old gal comes up. She goes, "How much you want for the fridge?" I says, "Well, I hadn't planned on selling it, but if you give me $50 for it, you can have it." Sold. I'm like, all right. Yeah, there's hey, Bill. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. Spinning will provide free delivery for the printers. I don't know. Them are kind of heavy. They're no small fry by any means. I don't know how I'd ship those. but I'd rather somebody come pick them up because they're pretty good size. One's a Dell 3450 DN, and then the other one's a 2335 or something like that. DFW. It's a big old multi-function job, but I had them at my shop. Well, I mean, if it's somewhat close, then yeah, I would probably deliver it. But if it's a couple hours away, no. I do have Instagram also. I'm out there on Instagram. I don't post a whole lot on there either, but anyway, so I moved back to the refrigerator store. So this gal goes, so she had some friends with her, and she goes, and one of her friends and I said, "What are you gonna do with that fridge?" She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna put it on the back porch where it belongs." I just laughed. She was definitely from the country, you could tell it. It was pretty funny. But anyway, they come and picked it up, and so I had my old fridge that I had from my first house that I bought. It worked fine too, and it was out in the shop. And so I pulled it out of the shop and put it in the garage. And like I said, I haven't been out there since. Come on, man. Yeah. Dang. Wow. Wonder how much I could get but for those 6x6x12s that I got out there. Your butt's been wiped. Huh. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so anyway, I haven't. You still need a rim joist. Yeah, but you just sold yours. Yeah, I knew that was who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. But I need to get some more videos out there. I know. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, Ice. I mean, it's just, and then the one that the guy was died overseas or something like that from uh, metal poisoning, and yeah, but it's safe and effective. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty bad when they start offering you an incentive to do it. Also, oh, thanks, Doc. I'm just one guy, just BSing on a Saturday night. Somewhere to get out there. It's just I don't have a whole lot of followers. I mean, I tell you, I just was pretty just tickled to death. I mean, like last week or so, I've crested 2,000 subscribers, and I was like, holy cow, who'd have thunk? Not me for sure. But Yeah, I'm going to try to get out there in the morning. I got some nice folks sent me some stuff they wanted me to try, and I'm going to make a video on it. $900? Wow. Good Lord. But let me ask you this: is that all your life is worth? $900? I mean, to me, I think it's kind of priceless. You know, the thing about the ivermectin too is you can get it at the feed store. I mean, that's the same stuff they use for horses, um, just in a different form. Yeah, exactly my point. Exactly my point. In fact, I think we've actually got some out in the horse stuff too. I mean, so but that brings up the thing with what about your natural immunity? Does that not account for anything? And you know, I like some of these politicians just bringing up and pointing things out, like Senator Cruz. Like that guy. He stands up for Texans. Vanilla yogurt in the right dose. I don't have vanilla yogurt. I just usually eat plain yogurt. Rand Paul. Yeah. There's some good ones for sure. Yeah, 1 milliliter per 100 pounds. Well, I'm gonna need probably 4 milliliters. No, not that bad. 3.5 maybe. Yeah, yeah, right. Oh my god, that movie. That movie was so corny, but it was funny. You know, it was. No, I'm not 400. 400, just 3.5. Believe it or not, I've always been a big dude. I always carry it pretty well, though. I used to, like I said, I used to work out quite a bit too. And instead of the muscle, it's kind of turned to table muscle more than anything. But that's how I got the shoulders and everything else. Like I said, I used to work out quite a bit. Used to have real defined Popeye arms too. They're kind of shrank over the years. Used to do the leg sled about, I think the last time I really worked hard, I was leg sledding like 720. But you know, that's been a few years. Like I said, I quit going. I quit going to the gym pretty hard and heavy after we lost mother-in-law, and that was 2007. So that was what, 14 years ago. Fluff. Yeah, big teddy bear. Big teddy bear. But then my problem is I got in this bacon mood. Not bacon as in pig bacon. Bacon as in bacon cookies. And so I've got a terrible sweet tooth, but I found out that as long as it's natural stuff, I don't have a problem with my blood sugar. Imagine that. So, but I got to quit that. I made oatmeal raisin from scratch. I think I showed you that on the other one. But I keep telling myself I'm gonna get out and do something. Yeah, yeah. I still have to chuck some hay, but I don't have to pick it up out of the field anymore. Usually I go down to Ocala and they load it on a trailer for me, and then I have to unload it and um, put it in the hay barn. Doc, I don't cook enough, and I love to cook. And I was telling the wife, I says, I'd be in trouble if I had a commercial kitchen in my house. Nice Viking stove, gas top, a couple double ovens. Yeah, I'd be in trouble. Then I've still got a couple old air compressors out there. I was going to make a smoker out of one, but that may not be part of my 5-year plan. Sloppy Joe calzones. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but my goal is to kind of retire completely from the automotive turning wrenches in 5 years. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But we'll see how things. Doc, it doesn't matter really. That as long as you're healthy, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get any skinnier. It's not in my anatomy. I can't eat like a freaking fly. I can't do it. I've tried. Nice. Woo, dang. I'm coming to your house, Stephen. Although I found out that part of my reason for the blood sugar was the white potatoes. We were eating potatoes a lot, and I can't. Apparently, they're so high on the glycemic index, it makes my freaking blood sugar skyrocket. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm just saying, I mean, for the dosage that, you know, equine take is quite a bit different from humans. So you give the same kind of dosage for a human to equine, you're to kill yourself. Excuse me, 2 types of meat and a spud. Beats the hell out of a hot dog. You got that right. For sure. Good ribeye steak, about medium rare. Excuse me, baked sweet potato and some fresh broccoli. Steamed broccoli. Mm-mm. That's true, but it's not the sugar like what you're thinking. It's refined sugar or added sugar to things that don't normally have it. I mean, that'll really kick your butt. Just like tonight, I had wife made some chili, and it's pretty dang good. She got a little bit too much tomato sauce in it, so I had to thin it out with some brown sugar to cut some of the acidity down. And the beans are kind of a no-no, but yeah, I drink a lot of water, Stephen. But anyway, blood sugar shouldn't be too bad in the morning. The morning's when my blood sugar is usually a little bit high, and it's not usually bad. It's maybe 150 now. I mean, before I got serious about it, my blood sugar was running three to 350, somewhere in there. Brown sugar, some port wine, yeah. Oh, something else that works is red cooking wine. It's kind of got a sweet flavor to it. I have made spaghetti sauce from scratch using red wine and tomatoes. And mine used to run normal until, I don't know, a couple years ago. And I'm sure it's probably because of combination of stress and everything else and not eating right. Yes, a dry sherry works. In fact, I've got some in the cabinet. I like using that kind of stuff. Worcestershire sauce on a lot of meats gives it a fantastic flavor. It works good for doing like London broils, doing a rub on it, and put some Worcestershire sauce on there with the rub, and wrap it tight in some tin foil. Oh, I don't wake up at 40. Mine's usually like 140 or 150. But in the evening time, it's around 90. So 40 is pretty low. Oh, excuse me. But wrap that London broil up tight with the rub on there, and some Worcestershire sauce, and let that dude sit overnight in the fridge. And then get it out like an hour or so before you're ready to cook it. Let it get up to room temperature. And what I found works really well for doing London broil is cooking it on the grill. You can usually get that dude about a medium rare to medium, somewhere in there. And it is so good. One hot dog bun left and 7 hot dogs. I've always used white bread. 600. I had a good friend of mine up north. It was my best friend's sister in my wedding. My best friend was my best man at my wedding. But anyway, his sister didn't know she had high blood sugar, and she was actually walking out of her office and walked off of a deal, and her legs just collapsed, and she face planted right there in the parking lot, and she couldn't get up. And turns out her blood sugar was way high, and she had to go through some extensive therapy to learn how to walk again. And she had a little bit of damage in one of her eyes. But But holy cow, she crazy. Excuse me. Of course, she comes from a family of Italian. Yeah, Doc, there's a lot of things, a lot of truth to that. FDA has a big effect on it. It's another one of those control things where they don't want you to eat the healthy stuff. They don't want you to eat the non-healthy stuff, because that way it can keep you going to the doctor and then the doctor prescribing more stuff out of the pharmacy and just stacking. And I called my doctor out on that stuff because he wanted to keep adding prescriptions. And I said, no, you're just stacking. So how about getting rid of one that's causing the issue and let's go and trying something different. He finally started seeing it my way. Wow. Mike, is your dad all right, or is he's still with us, or? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. And like I said, when I went to the store and got groceries, and I really didn't get a whole lot, and it was just stupid money because inflation is just killing us. Um, it is expensive to eat healthy. It's not expensive to eat junk, and they know it. They know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is education. You know, I've kind of taught myself, um, I've kind of schooled myself to look at ingredients, look at the ingredients on the package. Uh, think about what's in it. You, every once in a while I get a craving or something like that, and I went to the snack machine. I got one of them double decker oatmeal cream pies, and all those things are so freaking good. They were good until I looked at the ingredients on the back and how much added bullshit it had in it. And I about died. I was like, I'm not eating one of them again. Wow. A good friend of mine from another friend of mine from up north, he apparently had a small heart attack, and he ended up having to do the same thing. He ended up having to five-way bypass. Uh, as far as I know, he's doing pretty good right now. This just happened like a week ago. Um, Mike and Karen Hull. Um, Karen was Karen Gibson, and they went to our church, and I was friends with Matt, and for the longest time, still am friends with him. We just don't see each other much. Steve and I used to smoke, believe it or not. I I smoked. I started smoking when I was 15, and I made it my millennium resolution, and I quit in 2000. I was trying to do it on the millennium, but took me 14 days after the which in which I threw them away, and I haven't touched one since. And that was probably one of the best things I ever did for myself. God, I couldn't afford to do it now. Doc, we had a my service manager that I had up there at the shop. He got the I think he got the Johnson and Johnson one, and about a week later, he had a stroke. He's still with us, but he had to do things all over again. He's not allowed to drive. Um, I just, you believe it or not, my first pack of cigarettes I ever smoked was a pack of Cool and Milds, pack of Cools, uh, menthols, and I was like, oof, they weren't bad, but my second pack was a pack of Marlboro Reds. Yeah, yeah, Marlboro Reds, and then smoked those for a while, and then smoked Camels. They were all filtered. Smoked Camel Lights and then Camel Wides. Smoked Marlboro Lights. Um, Smoked a little wacky tobacco in between there when I was young. It was one of them things. Steve and I really like the Marlboro Mediums. Whew, man, all the hair on the chest. Camel non-filters. Whoa. Uh, wow. Nothing like getting the tobacco at the same time. Lucky Strike. Ooh. I thought my Cools were bad. Yeah, I bet you did. Uh, but it's all the things, all the stupid stuff we did as we were teenagers trying to fit in. Uh, try to fit in, try to be cool, try to find out who we are. And I finally decided that I had enough of that. So I was 29 when I quit. In fact, that was pretty close to before the wife and I got together. Yeah, it was because we our first date was July 12th of 2001. Good job, Mike. It's tough to quit, guys. No joke. If I could only figure out how to do it on the eating part, I'd probably be a whole lot better off. But I haven't figured that part out yet. Rotate that a little bit. But there's times that it really gets stressed enough, that I thought, it should be nice to have one. I was like, nope, you touch that thing, you're going to get hooked again. I'd probably end up killing myself with it because they say after 7 years your lungs have completely rebuilt. Your 10th birthday. Stephen, when I was smoking, I was doing 2 to 2.5 packs a day. I was one of them heavy smokers. That some bitch was always hanging out of my mouth. And back then they weren't too expensive, but Holy cow. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think the biggest thing that made me quit is the fact that I didn't like my car smelling like it, my clothes smelling like it, my hair smelling like it. Not that I can smell my own hair, not unless I want to cut it out. Doc, you have yourself a fine evening. Thank you so much for coming by and saying, hey, be careful, take care of yourself, and we will talk to you soon again. Holy cow, Mike, a carton a day? You sure she didn't just burn more of them up? Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming by, Doc. I really do. I know it isn't much, and I'm not the most entertaining guy there is, but, something to do on a Saturday evening and hear from you guys. Excuse me. I'd imagine so. I remember in grade school when they come in with the people explaining that and stuff like that, and they're showing these lungs of a smoker and the lungs of a healthy healthy human. I'm like, look at it, and they're just full of tar. And unfortunately, this vaping thing is it's just as bad, if not worse. And these kids are just doing it, man. I don't know if it's definitely not a healthy alternative. But oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I'm getting tired myself. Man, we've been on here for an hour and a half already. Crazy. I'm gonna try to do one tomorrow, Stephen. I don't have any saved up right now. Well, I do, but yeah, Mike chewing's just as bad. My dad used to do that every once in a while. He'd put some of that worm dirt in his mouth. I just I never could do that. And sometimes you get in these people's cars. They got these spit bottles in there, and they're just it's just I don't know. That's pretty disgusting to me. I can't say nothing. Just some of the cars you get in down here. Apparently Florida is just like the weed capital or something like that. Because holy cow, you get in some of these people's cars and they're like they must have smoked half of a bag or something like that. It just stinks. And you know what that smell is because I mean, if you've ever done it, you it's unmistakable. But I worked on this kid's truck. Had to put a what did we end up doing to it? Had to repair a 6L80, and apparently he was in what they call a DRAC car, which is a GM rental car. Yep. And We cut the rental car back, and oh my God, he must went through a couple bowls in that thing. It was so bad. And I guess they were trying to sell that car too when it got back off of rental. I'm like, it's just like they can't quit it. Might as well just roll up a 20 or something like that and light that dude on fire. Kind of like the same effect, really. So, well, fellers, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm getting tired. My eyes are about to fall asleep, so I am going to try to get some sleep, get up in the morning, try to do some stuff. We'll see how that goes. But for now, I want to say thank you very much for gabbing and coming by. I really appreciate it. Y'all take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless you and God bless America. And we'll talk to you soon. See y'all.